What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the infamous project. Today we're going to be revealing and going over the 1993 four-banger V8 swap project that I finished late in 2022. And it's kind of a really good time to do this video because pretty much exactly 1 year ago I talked about how you could build a really nice Foxbody for under $10,000. And funny enough, we've got another one sitting here right behind me. Mind you, this one is not a notch, it's a hatch, but I think overall, for value for money, I think this is a pretty good example of what an average individual could build, whether it's your first car, because in this specific case, it is the gentleman's very first car, let alone his very first Foxbody. And he's in it for under $10,000, which all in all really isn't that bad. Now you guys are probably wondering, it was a four-banger, or it's a hatch, it's not a notch, this, that, the other thing, how much did he pay for the car? Well, I'll tell you, he got the car for $1,500. The rest of it is wrapped up in the fact that he's got a fresh, and I mean freshly rebuilt 302. So we got reliability as far as the motor is concerned. Everything has been cleaned up. We got new bushings, we got new seals, we got new power steering lines, brakes, tie rods, all of those little itty-bitty maintenance type items, which pretty much should make this car a fairly reliable car for years to come. So when this car arrived, you guys hopefully saw the video. If you didn't see the videos, go back and check them out, because I go over everything from when this car still had the original four-cylinder automatic in it, and we go through 5 full videos on what it took to swap this car. And it wasn't just a half-ass swap. It wasn't where we leave the rear differential in, or we use, let's say, it was a 5-speed. It wasn't like we're leaving the 4-cylinder drive shaft, or we're not leaving the 4-cylinder brakes up in the front. We're not leaving the 4-cylinder booster. We swapped it all. We swapped the fuel lines to the proper 5.0 V8 lines. We put the right 8.8 differential in. We put the correct booster. All of the correct 5-liter components have been installed in the car. In fact, the only thing that I want to say that is still 4-cylinder to this car is going to be the steering wheel, because the steering wheel would have been leather wrapped and a little bit thicker, but the cluster's been changed and upgraded and everything else. So now you'll see there's actually 3 pedals down in the footwell here, because this did see a full T5 conversion as well. Interior in this car is in immaculate shape, despite it being blue. I know blue isn't for everybody. I personally really like the blue interior, and I think that it turned out great. So that is pretty much what happened. So if you guys are interested, check out those videos, because I'll go through pulling out all of the original drivetrain. I'll go through swapping the 5-speed pedal assembly, running the fuel lines, installing the rear differential, doing the front end suspension. It's all there. Even did a quick trick alignment on the front, because after putting in the V8 spindles and everything else, your toe is going to be off. And then of course I ended up doing the inner and outer tie rod ends, so adjustment needed to be done there. Let's go ahead and pop the hood and look underneath. Alright, so here is the engine bay, which looks pretty good. When the motor was out, I cleaned up the bay and everything else and sprayed it all in a bright white, so that way things just look cleaner under there. So for the day when it comes, when he wants to repaint the car, the paint shows pretty good. Really not bad for a first car, and I redid all the trim for him, so all of that looks really nice with the SEM black trim paint. Got a brand new windshield installed in there too. Guys, I have to say it, that as much as it's nice to keep your original Carlite glass, because it is hard to find them this day and age, if you guys are on the wagon where you want the original Carlite, there's nothing like a fresh, crystal clear windshield, especially when you're driving right as the sun's going down. My Wild Strawberry car, it has the original glass in it still. It is so pitted and blasted that it actually makes it kind of hard to see at times. So invest in a new windshield if you can. So you'll see underneath the hood here, the only thing that's missing is one AC line that needs to be from the compressor over up to the condenser in the front here, but everything else is there. It's connected, new alternator, new power steering pump. Like I said, freshly rebuilt 302 motor that was done by Clay's Automotive down in San Antonio. They do really great work. They've done my neighbor's Foxbody's motor. They've done another of other motors and have had really good results. If you guys are in the San Antonio area, make sure to check out Clay's Automotive. That's pretty much it. We got a set of shorties, unequal length headers on here, and I think it's a BBK off-road H-pipe. And we have, unfortunately, the only thing that really needs to be changed on this car is the god-awful pipes exhaust, or pipes catback. About the only thing that pipes is good for, in my opinion, is to give you the piping that you need. So if you guys can get a pipes catback at a really good price, go for it, and then put some Flowmasters on it. I'm going to start this car up for you guys, and you'll be able to hear it firsthand. But you can actually see in the back, these were GT style exhaust tips, so they actually had a turn down on the end because they came off of his donor car, and I just took a Sawzall and cut them with pretty much straight, so they look better, but he needs to get some proper tips put on there. So the exhaust needs to be buttoned up. A little bit more detailing. You can see the car sat underneath the tree, so there's some mold still that's really, really hard to get off on the trim. I know there's a couple different products, but I'm going to let him deal with that. I can't do all the, you know, elbow grease and everything else for him. He can take the pride of ownership of doing some of the cleanup, maintenance, detail-y items like that. And tires. He needs new tires. These things are weather cracked. We won't get into the wheels. Again, it's his first car. It really doesn't look that bad. The chrome on the white, it's a pretty nice looking car, right? So with that said about that car, I'm really excited for something else, because his donor car, if you guys haven't seen the video, I even went over the donor car, which is sitting right here. And although you see wheels front and back, there's nothing. There's no spindles or anything up front because we took all those out. The rear end is not there. The car is literally sitting on tires. This car was hit really hard at some point. It honestly just was not worth being put back together, nor is it safe. It might look okay on camera, but I'm telling you guys, every single crumple zone is like compromised. There's Bondo through the whole thing. Things are bent and buckled, and doors into like gaps that don't line up by any means. Like, look at this. This will tell you enough right here about how bad things line up on this car. So there's what's left of the Porno red interior. I'll take a couple bits out of that and see whatever other little parts I could potentially salvage, but this guy finally gets to go to scrap. This guy is loaded up. This finally gets to go to scrap. So you can imagine how excited I am to clean this up. And then Lewis needs to come get his 93 Cobra that's sitting back there, and that's gonna go. Ramp truck, there's gonna be a update video coming on that real soon. That thing should be moving down the driveway under its own power here this week. Just been waiting on things like coolant lines that I couldn't even get, not even from the dealer, so I had to customize and fabricate some stuff. But anyways, the video is not about the ramp truck, it's about this car right here. So I think this is a really nice little project. It's going to be a great car for the customer that's getting it. Obviously, I've been working closely with his dad as well, who was kind of the driving force behind this, but really nice little car. So you know what, let's go out, we'll take it for a little drive, make sure that everything is good, because I've aired up the tires, I've checked that the wheels have been torqued down, I went over all of the lines and fittings, checked the oil, checked the power steering fluid, and I did notice actually this fitting had a small little drip coming from it, and it just needed to be tightened up a bit. So took care of that, but otherwise we don't seem to have any leaks or anything else. Car starts up and idles fine. You guys get to hear this god-awful pipes exhaust firsthand right now. I don't know how it sounds on camera, but I hate it. Anyways, let's do a little cinematic and we'll go for a quick cruise. So cruising along here, testing out the old drivability of the four-banger project here, and just cruising along in fourth gear, probably 50, 55 mile an hour or so. And the car drives nice and straight, don't have any crazy vibrations in the steering wheel or anything. Ultimately, the car's gonna need an alignment on a rack. You know, I do pretty good with the quick trick alignment, however, you know, just with so many things being changed and updated, it would be good to get it on an actual machine, especially because this car will be able to be easily put in the spec like factory. This car isn't lowered dramatically. It's got a coil cut out of the factory front spring, and the front spring so the front spring is a V8 spring, and you actually just saw me go through a big dip right there. And it wasn't bad, no rubs, no bangs, no noises, and nothing fancy with the shocks and struts. They are just your, I believe they're KYBs that came on the donor car, and they seem to work good, so I wasn't going to mess with them. You can see here we got a real nice idle, good oil pressure, our temperature is right where we want it to be, and we need some fuel. But other than that, fill up the gas and they're good to drive home. Going through the gears here. That exhaust sounds horrible. But the car drives nice, other than that hideous pipes exhaust. Redid all the door seals, did the window run channel stripping along, you know, the door frames and everything else. So it's pretty quiet in here, especially for a hatchback. The car is pretty tight. There's no subframe connectors on it. Reality doesn't need it. It's stock. It's arguable. You know, obviously it's always nice to stiffen up the chassis if you're gonna abuse the car and race it and everything else, but they can decide that at a later stage. So really happy with the way that this car turned out overall, and I'm hoping that they're going to be happy with it. I'm sure they will be, and that's about it. We'll get cruising, get this car back home, just keep our eyes on the vitals, and everything should be good to go. So we're back from our test drive. Everything is good. I think I'm going to add a little bit of fuel to the car just to make sure that they can make it to the nearest gas station. Other than that, runs and drives, does everything that it should. Goes through all the gears. A little bit of a bouncy speedometer. Needs some tires. Needs an alignment. Needs some flow masters. But other than that, this project is done. We're going to send it off Thank you guys for following along. Hopefully you enjoyed this little series on this 4-banger swap conversion. I'm not gonna lie, this is probably gonna be the last one of these that I do for a little while. They are a lot of work, and I have to reiterate that. Those 5 episodes that I knocked this thing out in pretty much a week's time, it takes a lot, especially when you're doing it on your own. So 100% doable. If you're building your own car, you're doing it for your first car or whatever it is, you can definitely maximize on your own labor, reduce your own personal labor rates. But for me, doing them for other people, I think I might need to put my labor rate up some more. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you here next time on the Infamous Project.